The world of Chinese historical drama is known for its grand palaces, tragic love stories, sweeping orchestral scores, and high-stakes romance, but every once in a while, the fandom turns all those beloved tropes completely on their head in the most magnificent way possible. When you bring together the captivating charm of Zhang Linge, the fiery screen presence of Deng Kai, and the captivating brightness of Tian Ziwei into a hilariously chaotic C-drama parody song titled Pursuit of Jade, you get a masterpiece of comedic storytelling that fan communities simply cannot stop rewatching. From the very first beat, the track manages to capture the exact melodramatic essence of a thousand-year-old ancient romance, yet it immediately subverts every single expectation with sharp lyrical wit, exaggerated romantic tension, and brilliant character dynamics. You can instantly picture the mist-covered bamboo forests, the floating silk robes, and the dramatic slow-motion turns, except instead of battling ancient curses or kingdom-ending conspiracies, our heroes are locked in an absurdly intense battle over the legendary, ultimate prize of Jade, or perhaps just the sheer, chaotic drama of trying to win each other over. What makes this musical parody hit so deeply with fans is how impeccably it understands the core soul of the actors themselves and the iconic characters they usually play. Zhang Linge enters the narrative with that signature tall, brooding, impossibly handsome elegance that usually belongs to powerful immortals or brilliant young ministers who bear the weight of the realm on their shoulders. Yet in this song, every brooding gaze and epic high note is dedicated to something utterly ridiculous, turning his usual mysterious charm into absolute comedic gold. Right beside him, Deng Kai brings that fierce, magnetic energy, perfectly channeling the classic second male lead or fiery rival who refuses to back down, matching Zhang Linge note for note in a vocal duel filled with dramatic glares and intense chest-pounding passion. Then, sweeping into the chaos like a breath of fresh air, Tian Ziwei brings her iconic, irresistibly sweet yet surprisingly fierce energy, completely stealing the spotlight and throwing both men into absolute disarray with a single smile or sharp lyrical jab. As the music swells, the narrative of Pursuit of Jade takes the listener on an emotional rollercoaster that feels surprisingly intense despite being an absolute comedy. The lyrics dance seamlessly between grand, poetic ancient phrasing and shockingly modern, relatable banter, creating an addictive rhythm that hooks you immediately. You hear the deep, resonant harmonies between Zhang Linge and Deng Kai as they passionately compete, singing about destiny, honor, and ancient artifacts, only for Tian Ziwei to break into a high-energy chorus that reminds everyone who is truly in control of this legendary chase. The beat drops with epic orchestral drums blended with modern pop rhythms, making it impossible not to move along as the dramatic tension escalates to absurd heights. You can practically see the imaginary budget of $100 million production being poured into a scene where three stunning actors are dramatically crying over a tiny piece of jade or arguing over who gets to strike the most dramatic posture under a shower of falling cherry blossoms. Beyond the sheer comedy, there is a genuine musical genius woven into the track that keeps people replaying it over and over again. The vocal contrast between the three stars creates a dynamic harmony that feels surprisingly top-tier, elevating the parody into a genuinely catchy anthem that stays stuck in your head for days. Every verse builds upon the last, deepening the absurd storyline and dropping clever Easter eggs that only true C-drama lovers will instantly recognize, from the mandatory fake coughing up of blood during dramatic arguments to the inevitable, slow-motion accidental embraces that last 5 seconds too long. The emotional commitment from the performers is what truly carries the song into legendary status, because they do not play it like a silly joke, they commit to the melodrama with absolute, unyielding passion, making every single line feel like a matter of life and death. By the time the song reaches its soaring climax, the chaotic energy reaches a fever pitch that leaves you both laughing hysterically and deeply impressed by the pure creative brilliance of the entire concept. The back-and-forth vocal battles culminate in a massive, triumphant final chorus where all three voices blend together in a spectacular explosion of theatrical drama, ending on a ridiculously lingering high note that leaves the imaginary crowd breathless. Pursuit of Jade stands as a glorious love letter to everything we adore, laugh at, and obsess over in the world of Chinese historical dramas, proving that when you combine top-tier talent, gorgeous aesthetics, and self-aware humor, you create an unforgettable piece of fan culture that will be celebrated, shared, and sung along to for a very long time.